This experiment with Citra Solv and National Geographic didn't turn out as well as I thought it would. I've had better results in the past, but I don't want to just throw them away. So I was trying to figure out how to save this project. So I'm going to use the original pages on one half of my masterboard today, and I put the images into my editing program and created these digital prints by enhancing the colors and saturation, and we're going to use these on this side of the page and see which side comes out better.
Hi, I'm Christine, the artist behind Artlissa Designs, and I'm happy you're here. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. So I was really disappointed about the project, and so I have my chart here that I always like to use, and Skylar got some stuff on it, but that's okay because I'm going to cover all that up anyway. I'm going to take out my Mod Podge, and again, this is just regular Mod Podge, and I add a little bit of water to it because it's just easier to use when it's a little bit thinner for this type of project, not for everything. I know my microphone has been not working so well. I'm going to do the best I can to wait until I can afford to get new microphones. But I just sliced these pages up. I did not. This one came out okay. This is what's supposed to happen. But I cut them in strips because I thought it'd be cool just to lay the different colors out. Now my guillotine doesn't work so great, so I have some of these that aren't going to be perfect, and that's okay. And I'm just going to start gluing them down. And then on this side of the page, I still was able to copy some of them and create some cool images from these National Geographic pages that did not do so well. I did 4 here because I want to play around with some greeting cards using this as the background, but I'm going to use this one today. I can reprint it later, but I'm going to slice these up and put them on this side. I think this is going to be really cool, but I think that this is also going to be cool. We'll see. That's the project for today. Saving, what would you call it? Saving fails. Okay, so I just took that stack of paper and did the same thing to this and just kind of sliced it up. And I'm not going to make it all perfect, so I'll just glue over that white section, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's start gluing. I folded the paper in half so I can see. I think this is another one of those that I should use my spray with, just to keep it from wrinkling as much. I expect that the ink is gonna run, so I'm not gonna go over, and I always say that and then I do it anyway. I'm gonna work on both of them, and I'm just gonna figure out which side I like better. So we'll start the actual magazine pages on this side. Yeah, I will give it a good coat, but I'm going to go over this quickly because that ink is going to spread everywhere from the printer. All right, I'm going to cut this down a little bit. So this should be interesting. Yeah, I was really disappointed that it didn't. I'm thinking, and in my last video when I was working on these, I thought that it was a specific group of National Geographic that this worked best on. And then I saw that 2000 and later. So that's the stack that I grabbed. I'm wondering if maybe that was the problem, that I just saw some not 100% correct information and ran with it. Maybe that's the reason why I didn't get a good result. But also it could be because I did just a few pages. And a lot of times when you do the whole entire magazine, there are a lot of pages that don't get the effect that you want. So I think that's the benefit from doing an entire magazine. But I'm loving the collage so much that I don't want to let go of some pages. So I took a lot of good pages out. So that could be it too. And I'm going to continue doing this project over and over again because it's fun. You never know what you're going to get, but you have to be prepared to be disappointed. It's just one of those things. Now, if I can figure out exactly which magazines do really well, and like I said in the video, I should be logging it, I'll start logging it now so that I know which magazines work the best. And then I can go find those magazines and get a good result every time. But I kind of do like projects that you really just don't know how it's going to turn out. Sometimes. I mean, if I'm trying to work on something to sell, oh, you know what? Let me do this down here instead. If I'm trying to do something on a timeline, then it's not always so fun when things don't work out. But just to play and experiment. Let's just go ahead and go all the way up. Then it's fun to get unexpected results because it's not always bad. And when it's good, it's really good. So it's not smearing that much. I like it. I want a little lighter colors in here though, because this seems to be very dark. Let me see if I can find some cool. This will be good, even though it's torn a little bit. So even though I have this in strips, I'm not worried if it's not perfect. Let's go down here. And then Thursday, I'll let this dry today because this is going to be quite wet. I'm just going in and kind of getting some of these wrinkles out, which if you've seen my masterboards before, I don't mind these wrinkles. I just don't want too many of them. I like to go back and do a layer over them and enhance some of those wrinkles. This one was cool. This is the one that I said, you know, it's got writing on it, so I'll have to cover the writing because it's the National Geographic and you don't want anything recognizable. So I did do an edited page where I blurred out. It didn't come out perfect. I want to do it again, but I think it's going to be a really good piece to have in the collection for vintage style stuff. Oh, here's one with color. Let's do that. That's that marching band. I think that's what it was. Yeah, my microphones have died, I think. However, I tried to do a couple of things without the microphone, and it sounds kind of like I'm talking in a tin can. Ooh, this is not soaking in. You see that? The glue separating? That's interesting. That was that weird page. Oh, that one's not working either. All right, I'm just going to smooth it out. Let it dry. Maybe that glue separating there will create a really cool effect. Later, we'll have to see. Yeah, this page with the green with the girls in the parade, it wasn't glossy like the rest of the pages. And so I thought, ooh, well, then it'll work really well. And then it didn't. Okay, I want to use that next. I'll do this one right here. That's that bird. Yeah, and then when I went over it, the ink was shifting and smearing everywhere. So I thought, oh, this will be really great. And it really didn't come out very good at all. So you never know. Really like this one because it's got all of that cool. Let's go back to some color here. I love these colors. They're cool. So let's do something a little more not as colorful next to it. Just go right up here. I'm going off the page because of this white border. I don't really want that white border in there. These pages want to wrinkle a lot. Bubbles. I can hear them popping. All right, I'm going to leave it alone. Huh. Of course I say that. All right. Thank you to all of you that have been commenting and following my channel, new subscribers, older subscribers. Our little community is growing, and I really appreciate it. Every comment is still so exciting. And we have a lot of new people here, so welcome. Thank you for your support. It just motivates me to keep going. And you're all so nice. You know, I have a few friends that really now want to do a channel, and of course they're afraid to do it because there's horror stories from other people who have channels that talk about the hate that they get. I've gotten a couple of snarky comments, but that's okay. Everybody's got an opinion. I don't think it's necessary to try and bring someone down when they're just trying to be themselves and do something creative in their life. I would never do that to someone, but I understand. That's okay. I'm going to keep doing what I do anyway, my way, because everybody's different. And I support everyone for doing their thing, even if I don't agree with everything that they're doing. It's okay. Oh, yeah, we got to put this bird in there. I know this is supposed to be sort of abstract, but I love my birds, especially these kingfishers. I did a painting last year of a kingfisher. I still haven't put it up for sale because it's up in my closet and, I got to seal it or something, whatever I still have to do to it. So I still have it. But it was one of the first birds that I attempted, and it actually came out kind of cool. I learned a lot from doing that project. Let's put this here. I like doing these in strips. I think that's going to come out really cool. Which side do I want? Yeah, for sure that side. I like the other side too, though. I know why this glue is resisting. These pages have the Citra Solv in them. That's why. It just occurred to me. See, sometimes it takes me a minute. So, as you're watching my videos and I say dumb stuff, let me tell you, I can't tell you how many times I've gone back to watch my videos and I'm like, dummy, you should know better. And that is an interesting thing. How, yeah, it makes sense that would just repel the glue. So there's another thing. Maybe that glue is going to repel, and then when I go back later to paint over it, I'll catch those little areas in it. Maybe it'll create a cool, fun design. But you're all going to have to wait until Thursday for that because this is definitely going to need to dry. And where I would normally go away and come back later, I'm a little bit busy this afternoon, so I won't be able to leave this all day. Plus, I would like to know what you think. I'm trying to do shorter videos. I still want to do Masterboard Monday is going to be whatever I want it to be, because Masterboard Monday is just kind of an experiment to start off the week. And I enjoy just doing what I'm doing here, just creating and thinking out loud. But on Thursdays, like I said before, it's either going to be the continuation of the masterboard from Monday, or if I complete a masterboard on Monday, then it'll just be a regular, whatever project I need to work on at the time, or that I want to share, or that, something I've learned that I want to show you. So Thursdays, I think I will set them up to be a quicker video, something that you don't have to invest as much time in. But Mondays are just going to have to be unpredictable. Because it is kind of just create with me. What are you working on? What are you working on? Put that in the descriptions below. Do you turn on my videos and just listen to me ramble while you create? Or do you... I'll tell you how I watch some creator videos, because now that I know how important it is to get that watch time in and how hard it is to get. So I have, 400 and something subscribers right now, but I'm still under 1,000 watch hours. So I'm aware that it takes a lot of time and effort and patience to get to your 4,000 watch hours. So when I go and watch other people's YouTube videos, I watch the whole thing from beginning to end. I try, even if I'm busy. So if I'm cleaning the house, I just turn them on and I'm kind of watching as I'm doing stuff around the house. And then commenting is really important. I try and comment. I don't always get to everyone. I like every video that I watch. Sometimes, and I use that as a way to know whether I watched a video or not. So I'm obsessed with Nicole from Relax Cut Glue. So I will, if I start her video and I don't finish it, I save the like for later, because if I see that I've liked something, I know that I've already watched it. So sometimes I do go back and finish watching it, and then that's when I'll like it and try and comment. But I know how hard it is to get those watch time hours. So what I do is, and it drives Bob crazy, I watch it on fast speed. I watch it a little bit faster. Now, some people talk fast naturally, so it's hard to do that. But the people that I watch that talk a little bit slower, it's easy to just go in and speed it up, and then that way I can watch the whole thing a lot quicker. It's just how I do it. I try and show people. If you have a YouTube channel and you're subscribed to me, put your link in the description below so we know who else to follow. And if you're looking for more creative people to watch and support, go look in the comments and see if there's someone that's put their link in, so we can all help each other. I really appreciate, there's a few people lately, and I'm sorry, I'm brain fog. I don't remember things off the top of my head. I will eventually go in and do a shout out and thank you to all the people that have supported me. But go look in the comments and see who's been commenting, because I found a few of my subscribers have channels of their own, and I gotta tell you, there's some pretty good channels in there. So check that out and support some of those people. Because I can tell with their comments and the way they're watching my videos and interacting that they also understand how hard it is for a creator to build their channel and get to the point where, I have to get monetized because I'm not working anymore. So that's my I mean, I am working a little bit, but this is what I want to do. And I don't want any, I don't, I don't want any support that I don't deserve. But I do think it's interesting how the whole process works and how easy it is when you have good people behind you supporting you. So anyway, thank you to all of you new members, all of you new subscribers, and those of you who are encouraging me, even when the project's not. Do you know how hard it is to go in and be so excited about a project and then it doesn't turn out, and you want to be transparent, so you have to show it anyway? This was a huge letdown, but as one of my subscribers said, in my last video, the comments in the comments underneath the video, please don't be discouraged. I'm not discouraged. I am disappointed, and it's not easy to come on and say I failed, especially when I was showing you guys what works, because it really does work. I think it was a matter of maybe I didn't use enough of the Citra Solv, because I did go back and I noticed that it was shifting the inks, but I don't know, my first initial reaction to that was, oh, it doesn't look like I used enough. However, I've done it that way before in different years of National Geographic, and it worked out great. So I really don't know. I think this is just one of those projects that you have to, you have to keep trying, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The unfortunate part is that Citra Solv is not cheap. But when you do hit it right and you get a good result, you see how far these pages go. I mean, it's just ridiculous how many images how far you can make your images go if you put them in the editing program and change them around a bit. That's why here's another reason why I don't throw things away, and I try and make them work. Because you cannot get the result that I get of my final projects without having a project underneath that was completely destroyed and saved. You know what I mean? Like, I could never get this intentionally. So when there's layers and layers and layers of attempting to save something, you end up with effects that you would never get if you said, I'm going to try and create this and make this effect happen. That's what I love about art. And one of the reasons that I started trying to save everything, I take my art stuff on the road when we travel. And one time I had a very limited supply of art stuff, and we got stuck in the camper for a couple days because it was just storming terribly. We couldn't even watch TV because the rain was so loud that you just couldn't concentrate and follow. And I had not a great result with the artwork that I was working on. And I didn't have anything else to work on, so I had no other choice than to just to keep taking what I messed up and add layers. And then that didn't work out, so I added another layer, and then that didn't work out. And I don't know how many times it took me to fix what I was working on, but in the end, I ended up with the coolest piece. And this was I forget what I ended up doing with it, but I just realized during that time that that's how these processes from these famous artists sometimes happen. And I learned that later as I was reading about other artists and how they ended up using the technique that they became known for. And a lot of times, if you really listen to them, it was by accident. Like you end up doing something and then it is so cool, so, ooh, let me do that again. And it may or may not always give you the same result, but I just think sometimes when you push through it, you end up with things that you could never have planned. So that's why I love doing this. So here is, let me see if I can get this. No, I'll go back and trim this up later, of course. Everything's gluing to the tile. But I think that's going to end up being really cool as the background for some tags or some handmade. I don't know if I'll go in and do gesso over this and just let some of this show through. I don't know. This I'm going to have to do gesso because, of course, like I said, you still have some images and some writing that might be recognized as a National Geographic. So I will go in and add some inks or gesso or whatever to this side. So I'll be back Thursday and we'll slice this thing up and see how it comes out. And was it worth it to try and save these pages? Was it worth it to edit these? What do you think about the edited pages? I love how bright they are. And I did not have to do that. If I wanted to do more of a vintage, which I probably should have done next to this more muted, but I wanted to see color, I could have edited these and I can always go back. Now they're digital files, so I can go back and I can tone these colors down and do something more of a vintage style. To me, this kind of looks a little like my steampunk. I think these would be great for steampunk. Maybe these too. So maybe we'll do some steampunk on Thursday. So let me know what you think. Give me some suggestions in the comments. Steampunk or vintage or something springy or summery. What do you want to see? And then also, what am I creating? Handmade gift cards, which will go in. I want to create something that I can put and make available in my store. So let me know what you think. Give me suggestions in the comments below. And I will see you on Thursday and we'll see where this thing goes. I hope you guys all have a really super fun, crafty, creative week. And I will see you. Well, I'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday tips, but I'll see you for the rest of this project on Thursday. Thanks for watching.